That was interesting. What do those Super Bowl folks know that we don't know? Aye? Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for pulling up in Bakanga land once again. I'm gonna have some fun tonight. I hope you're ready to have some fun too. Like I said, I'm not gonna be online for too long, so don't come up unless you have an opposition. I really do mean it. Don't come up unless you have an opposing view or you have a criticism. If you have a compliment, I accept all your compliments in advance. You don't have to say thank you. Stop believing in God and don't worry about tomorrow. That is the key. That is the key to complete happiness and peace of mind. If you can find a way to not believe in a higher power, then all you have to do is to focus on the only power. What is the only power? Right? You only have one power. Everybody in this world only has one power, and that's the power to live. When you no longer have the power to live, it means you're dead. So it doesn't matter if you believe in a higher power or in a devil's power. That's all useless entertainment. Most of you who believe in God, you have real shit going on in your life anyways. And I acknowledge, right, that the reason why you are glued onto your religion or whatsoever belief system you really subscribe to, it's because it probably provides a way for you to either escape the reality of the things you go through, or it repackages your views of what you're going through to make it seem less painful or difficult than it actually is. When in reality, you don't know that as long as you don't worry, everything will be all right. That is simple. It's simple as that. Hence, you don't really need God. You don't need prayers. You don't really need none of those things. I'm telling you, when you're going through something in life that you usually typically pray for, next time you're going through some hard times, don't pray for it. And the same solutions will present themselves. The same solutions will present themselves. In fact, the less stressed you are, the better. The more you pray, the more stressed you become.
All right, I have a question.
What's up, man?
So what do you think about the Earth being flat?
I don't think anything in particular.
Do you believe it or no?
Yeah, I don't really believe in anything. If you know me, I don't really believe in anything.
Like, if you use like math to prove that the Earth is flat, what would you
You
think?
cannot use math to prove that the earth is flat because earth means dry ground and you got mountains. So for sure it's not flat. The word is not flat. That's
Okay,
not the word.
okay, but the water being like flat.
The water itself is not flat. You got waves up and down, right? What
I
you're
know,
talking
I
about
know,
is
but
what you're talking about is a plane. Are we living on the plane or on the planet? We're for sure living on the plane. There's no argument about that. We
all right.
don't live on the planet, we live on the plane. But if you want to go down that path, some people, they only know what they've been indoctrinated.
So what do you think about, like, do you think it's infinite?
Who knows? I ain't been there.
Infinite plane. So
It could be infinite, it could not be. Shit, you want me to lie to you? I ain't been there.
so why
As far
why
as
do
I
they
know, no one has ever gotten to the end of it.
why do they not want to teach you that it's a plane?
For the same reason why you don't want to teach a criminal to break out of jail, right? When you put people in jail, you want to teach them how to break out of jail.
And why is the media say
You don't
why
want
is
to
the
teach them the secrets of the prison, right? If I put you in prison, I don't have to teach you the secrets of the prison. I'll make you believe that this prison is a place where you cannot break out of.
why is the media satanic then?
What does the media do? What?
Satanic stuff. They like
The
Hollywood.
media is not satanic. It's just human beings and their schemes. Human beings have the ability to conspire, to manipulate and exploit others. The media is just a tool of exploitation. It doesn't make them satanic. They're just human beings, man. I'm telling you, you
But
don't need to
if you
you
watch
don't
some
need
of
to
the
put
music
any human
videos,
being in any extreme categorization.
If you
You
watch
don't need to.
if you watch some of the music videos, they show a lot of satanic symbolism.
So what? It's just symbolism, bro. Why does it have to be satanic? It's just symbolism. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. Is it stopping you from living your life? Are you so worried about the symbolism that other people are showing? I'm pretty sure nobody forced you to watch television. It's just what it is. You don't have to make something negative out of it, then it begins to make you anxious for no reason. It's not satanic. When was the last time a symbol that they showed on the media came and stressed you out at night? Or stop you from getting a job, stop you from living with your family? Nah, bro. This is in the religious world, they have this way of demonizing things and attributing negative connotations to them because those negative connotations would generate fear in the minds of the believers, and the believers will have no choice but to run away to the only place of safety that they know, which is the clergy. And the clergy will exploit their fear, right? You don't need to be afraid of anything that human beings do, even something that is directly threatening you. If someone is threatening you, you just find a way to counteract it. But if something is not threatening you, it's harmless, to be honest. You don't need to have a fearful mentality or a categorizing mentality. Nah, people are going to do what people want to do. Bro, there's 8 billion of us. There's no way we're thinking the same. There's no way we're liking the same stuff. There's no way, if we have the control over the media, that we're going to promote the same things. They promote what they want to promote on the media. It's not up to you and I to be intimidated by it or to be attracted by it. I don't really get too much. I like one sport I really like to watch these days is basketball. But I'm convinced that basketball is rigged. So I watch it just for pure entertainment. I could care less because
It
those
is,
guys are
yeah,
doing their job.
it is all rigged. I agree, it's all rigged. That's true.
To a certain extent, it is. So fundamentally, like I said, you don't need to demonize anything, bro. Human beings are human beings. Focus on what you can do. You know what you can do, bro? You can live. You can actually just live.
It's hard though.
That's
They
what
try and they get you to sell your
I'm not
soul.
saying you.
They get you to.
I'm not saying you. No, you cannot sell your soul. You don't have a soul to sell. There's no such thing
Yes,
as
they
selling
can.
souls,
Yes,
my
they
good brother.
can. They sell your time by making you work a job to get money.
No one is making you do it.
I know.
You have to do it
You can
because
be
that is your best chance of
homeless.
survival.
You can.
It's logical. It is extremely logical to have a job. If you don't want to have a job, a bridge, bro. There's people who don't want to have jobs. They go live under the bridge. We live in a society where people toil, right, to build systems that generate wealth for them. And people also take advantage of the systems that other people have designed to build wealth for themselves in order to have a comfortable life. You don't want the stress of being a CEO and an entrepreneur who owns multiple real estate buildings because you have a simple job that allows you not to stress. Bro, those CEOs that run those companies, they don't sleep. You have to study the business world. They don't have time. They invest their entire life, and the money they're making, they don't even get the chance to enjoy it. And even every time they get a chance to enjoy it, they're always under the threat of being exploited or being robbed. Why do you think rich people got security, bro? They're not safe. So yeah, it might look like though, yeah, you're working a job, it seems like they're exploiting you. Who's really getting exploited? It's not them, bro. You got somebody. You don't even have to worry if you're gonna get paid. You know you're gonna get paid. Then you get off and you drive home. There's no one threatening to kill you, bro. Like you can go to the store and get food, bro. How many times you seen a celebrity just randomly walk into a store? They can't do that. They can't. They don't have the basic freedoms that you and I even got because all that money and all that wealth that you seem to be envying actually creates problems for them at the same level as the money they make. So getting a job is logical because we're worker social animals, right? Like bees. If you're in a beehive and you're not working, what are you doing in the beehive? Go chill by yourself and see how much you survive. Bro, there's
No,
people living out in the
there's a
you know.
difference. There's a difference because the bee is intuitionally supposed to do that. You're not intuitionally supposed to get a job.
It's not about intuition because we have the ability to think logically beyond intuition. We have the ability to apply reason and rational. If everybody else is working and paying taxes so that we can have good roads, where do you think the money to fix the roads come from, bro? You live in America, bro. You have a toilet indoor. Bro, have you ever lived a life, bro, where your toilet is outdoors?
I
Bro, do you know what it takes to set up all the plumbing for
I
that
live
stuff?
under a bridge, actually. So
Well, shit. And you're still using TikTok?
yes,
Where you get the money to afford that?
I make TikToks and then I eat fish. I catch fish and then
That's a job.
yeah. But
It doesn't matter if it's an employer that's paying you. You're gonna work for some man or you're gonna work for Mother Nature. Mother Nature ain't just giving you shit. You got to go catch that fish, and you're not going to catch the fish by singing a song to it. You're going to put in work. There's some other people who catch that fish to go and sell so they can afford other things. So it's still a job. No matter how you call it, you would work. You would work. And when we work all together, the changes happen at a micro level. So you should never have a problem with getting a job. Like I said, bro, you got to choose what you want. You can either have $1 million worth of peace of mind, or you can have $1 million worth of snitches or scammers. You remember Usain Bolt, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got into a business, bro, and he got scammed $12 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody scammed Usain Bolt for $12 million. So what good is it of being rich? Nah, bro, I bet you went to sleep last night. Even if someone scammed you for $1, it wouldn't really hurt you that much, right? So, and you can still make more money and still have more peace. Why do you think Elon Musk want to keep making money? Because he doesn't know how to live like a poor man. He's only ever known how to live like a rich man. If he suddenly became poor, imagine how miserable he would be. So he's got to work hard to maintain that level. Look at Bill Gates. Look at Jeffrey Epstein, right? Bro, do you really know the problems that these people have? I'm telling you, bro, if you have $1 million, you have $1 million worth of problems.
I agree. I agree.
Hence, I said to people, stop believing in God and don't worry about what comes after death.
I agree. It's just there's so much symbolism in
Don't
things.
worry about those little petty things that you cannot control.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Such things are beyond your ability to control. If you stress about them, all you're doing is taking away your peace of mind. It's like a person who worries about why the rain falls. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. What are you doing? Bamboozle the screen. Bamboozle the screen. I'm a little bit under the weather. Bamboozle the screen. Tap the screen like somebody owes you money, y'all. Signs and symbols are there for communication. If they're not communicating to you, don't worry about it. When you drive down the road, don't you need signs and symbols to know where you're going? Come on now. Some of you are living, hey man, don't worry about vaping. Some of you, like I said, you got to be realistic, right, on how you live your life. You got to be realistic. If you learn how not to worry, you eliminate almost 80% of your problems. Learn how not to worry. Learn how not to worry in this life. No matter how bad things get, don't worry. And worrying is something that we actually do, right? Let me tell you how worry manifests itself. Worry begins with a thought. A thought that things are bad and they're about to get worse. And even if things get better, that thought doesn't go away. You just keep anticipating that things are going to get worse. Even when you're doing your best, you just keep thinking that things are going to get worse. It begins to eat away your mind. Before you know, that's all you think. Even when you're completely doing something that is not related, that thought always keeps coming back. It eats away like a cancer. That's what worry is, right? Some people become so worried in order to distract themselves, they do drugs, right? They want to forget. They drink so they can forget. They smoke so they can forget. They do psychedelics so they can forget. Some people, they entertain themselves. That's what entertainment is, right? Entertainment is a distraction. You go and watch a basketball game so you can forget about the quarrel that you have with your wife. Some people, they go to religion because religion will tell them exactly what they want to hear, and then they can just pretend that those worries are not there. But there's actually only one way to stop worrying. You need to develop a thought in your mind that will counteract that negative thought, right? because that's really anxiety. If you're a person who likes to worry, always remind yourself that what's the worst that could happen? What really is the worst that could happen? How likely is the worst that could happen? And is the worst that could happen something that you really can't deal with? If the worst that can happen is not that you die, then it's always going to be all right. That's why Bob Marley famously said, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is going to be all right. Right? Every little thing is going to be all right. So you don't need to worry. And when you don't worry, why do you need to pray if you don't worry?
Long time no talk to, Bakanga.
What's up?
How you doing, man? Say that again.
What you been up to, man? What you been up to, man?
Man, living.
You got me on
Living.
speaker, man, 'cause I can
Hustling.
I can hear myself echoing.
Oh, let me take you off.
That's weird, bro.
Can you hear me now, Bakanga?
I can hear you now.
All right. Man, look. I watch you still. I just very rarely come on because I said I know with Bakanga there's not going to be a whole lot of edgewise communication unless I'm saying what he wants me to say.
Not necessarily that. You should be a man that is capable of handling the storm or handling the peaceful day. So it shouldn't deter you from doing what you have to do, because I don't have the power to stop you from doing what you have to do. If you have the power to stop you from doing what you want to do because you think it's going to have a certain outcome, that means you're worrying about little things. Now, Turnip should come up if Turnip wants to come up. It shouldn't matter what Bakanga is doing or what Bakanga is saying.
No. Actually, I was being a little facetious, but I'm saying I know your personality. You know, I'll come up and have a conversation with you anytime. But the point of the matter is, I'm like, if I go up, I know for a fact that if I begin to say something he does not agree with, Bakanga will mute you. And what's the purpose? What's the purpose of coming on and being muted?
I agree or disagree with people. I think what you are calling agreement is, if you say something that is logical and rational, then you will get no hostility from me. If you say something irrational, then you would get hostility.
But why hostility, and why not just information that's not coming from a hostile place?
Because my one of my major targets is to eliminate the irrational mind of man and to help people walk the rational path. Rationality has proved itself to be more productive than delusional and supernatural beliefs. You know, if you look at the world as it is today, if it was up to the supernatural and the believing world, we'd still be riding horses and we'd still be dying from simple things as the flu.
I don't.
We literally.
That statement. I completely. Oftentimes, you and I do agree about things, and that is one I agree with. I was talking to my grandmother the other day, and I like to make sure she's taken care of. And I'm like, Grandma, can you just please download Cash App? And she said, no, I'm not gonna have the government looking at my money. I said, Grandma, that ain't got nothing to do with the government. No. You know, I said, Grandma, it would just make it so much easier because I'm tired of going through cousins who only give you a fraction of what I actually send. Long story short, I understand that the stove made us more progressive.
Crazy, bro, when you say that, you know what's crazy?
What's that?
That's actually consistent. Your grandmother's behavior is consistent with the fact that every time a new technology comes, the religious world always demonizes it. Either by attacking that technology by calling it satanic, or by saying that the government is trying to exploit you, because who even put the idea in your grandmother's head that the government going to do something to her money if she used Cash App? That's the same thing that happened with 2020, right? People say it was the mark of the beast. That's the same thing that happened with Y2K. It's the same thing that happened with barcodes. The same thing that's happened with electric vehicles. The religious world, ever since the Roman Catholic Church, has this tendency of demonizing every new technology. Now people are saying that AI is demons. Can you imagine that? I remember when they were saying that the internet, WWE, was the mark of the beast, and that people shouldn't be on the internet. Now every church on the internet, bro. Tomorrow, bro, the pastor's going to be on AI.
This is true. Well, check this out, man. Let me tell you. So,
because you clearly can observe that.
If you get an opportunity, check out my I started a podcast, And one of the people that I started with, Roy Jones Jr., I've done Ving Rhames, go check me out. I've done Colin Kaepernick and a few other people. But essentially what I'm doing is sitting down with people who are specific or trailblazers in specific areas, right? And one of the people that I'm about to interview in the next 2 to 3 weeks actually is a major catalyst for AI. So you might be interested in that conversation. But I want to make this one statement. I could talk to you all night, but I just got done working out and I'm about to get some things done. But I wanted to make this statement and get some and get your feedback. The real question is, in the past 3 weeks, and we've had a conversation similar to this before, but in the past 3 weeks, I have eulogized 3 people, right? One of them was a cousin. He was 44 years old and he passed of an enlarged heart, right? Prior to his passing, he had committed himself to what we call on your show, you call indoctrination, being indoctrinized to Christianity, but he believed in Jesus. Okay. I have no problems with him believing in Yeshua because I too believe. But the issue that I have is these 3 people pass, and I cannot, even in my learned areas of theology, I cannot say that I am positively positive where he's going, what's coming after. And I'm not going to say I'm worried about it, but I think that because in our finite mind, we cannot really understand or ascertain what that looks like because we haven't experienced that. So for you to make the statement, and I'm done, to stop believing in God and don't worry about what comes after, I think that that's not a statement that is a good message to convey, because it doesn't necessarily have to be believing in God, but there could be something that comes after, even if you're thinking logically. I'll stop there.
You know what?
I'm listening, brother.
Hold on, let me see. All right, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. When you get up in the morning today, do you worry about the sunset 3 days from now?
Not at all.
All right.
Well,
When you
possibly.
drink water,
Go ahead.
do you worry if it's going to go into your stomach and come out as piss?
Me currently, no.
Nobody does.
Well, somebody that may have prostate issues could.
Huh?
Someone with prostate issues could. So that's not completely accurate.
Of course, someone with prostate issue will worry about drinking water, but could they live without drinking water?
Could they live without drinking water? I would say,
Yeah.
in today's age, possibly. Yes.
How so?
I mean, because there's other things that you can drink. Like, you could drink coconut juice. I mean, coconut water. You could, so that's water, but.
So when I say water, just think of fluid for hydration in general.
Okay. Yeah. You cannot live without drinking fluid. Yes.
Just like when you eat food, you don't have to worry about if it's going to come out as shit. Even if you have some type of bodily issues, at some point, some form, that food has to get digested and come up as waste, even in extreme medical conditions. Even if it cannot come out the way that nature designed it, we're going to help you medically, right? I know people that have piss bags on their side. My mom's a nurse. She used to work with folks like that back in the day.
Right.
And life is kind of like those simple things. When you worry about what comes next, when you don't have control over it, you're cheating yourself of the moment. So there's absolutely no need to worry about what happens after people die, because you're just cheating yourself of this current moment. You are creating unnecessary anxieties because you know that you don't know. And yet the more you think about it, the more you want to know. You're left with 2 choices. You either make up something in your head, or you go from place to place so somebody can tell you something that will take away your anxieties. That's what anxiety is, right? Anxiety is anxiousness about what's about to happen. Like, you're anxious, you don't know what's going to happen, and you start, and that's what happens with people who believe in God. In fact, I'll give you an example using what you just said to me. As honestly as you have said, it follows. You are not certain that you can say with 100% certainty where your family members have gone or where your folks have gone. Why? Because there's always that room for doubt. There's absolutely no certainty within that scope, right? Chances is the Muslim God is the real God, and anyone who did not follow all the rules of Islam is going to hell. Chances is it's all reincarnation, or maybe it's Jesus. And as long as you don't have 100% certainty, that makes every other possibility possible, including that nothing happens. So why worry? Why even think about it? Why even consider it? Why don't you just let things be what they are based on what you can observe and what you can see? When they die, they cease to be. It's almost as though they never lived. The only things that we have left of them is their memories. Why don't we just be that? If at any point it becomes necessary to know anything beyond, it will not be anything that you need to be convinced of. It will be obvious to everyone. Oh, look, this is what happens after people die, because everyone's having these experiences that is beyond shadow of doubt. You cannot argue it. Like, no one gets up and argue if the sun is in the sky. You know?
So Bakanga, so what is the purpose? And I've heard you speak on this before, but I'm going to bring it back into the conversation. What is the purpose of hope?
The purpose of hope is a double-edged sword. Hope is the last virtue that stands before the gates of despair. When all patience has been lost, when all courage has been lost, when all bravery has been lost, when a person has reached the point of complete powerlessness, they don't even have the ability to think anymore. The only thing that's left is despair. Hope is the only thing that stands in front of that gate. Hope is like sugar. Hope is like sugar, okay? It's very sweet, but if you have too much of it, you act up.
So hope, what you're saying is a false sense of nutrients.
Hope
is a false, because essentially what you're saying, sugar provides you energy, but there's a major drop and there's nothing that's long lasting except the damage.
Hope is like pre-workout. You have absolutely no energy to work out, but you need to fool your body that it's got the energy. So you get this boost of adrenaline, and then you beat your body up until you finally get the workout done. Then you go home and you rest, and your body recovers altogether. But if you keep drinking that pre-workout all day, you're going to jack yourself up. So hope is meant to be had in little doses when you reach the point of despair. So if you haven't reached the gates of despair, you don't need hope. All you need is courage. Let me tell you what courage is. Courage and bravery are the opposite of being a coward, right? Courage is when you see an obstacle before you and you calculate all the options that you have. As long as you have a 1% chance of succeeding, a courageous person will always take that 1% chance and stand up in all his strength and all his might. Now, hopelessness or hope is necessary for the person who doesn't even see 1% chance of survival. Like, you get to the point where, like, damn, bro, I'm effed. Like, I don't even have, there is nothing I can do. I just got to sit down here and hope that somebody comes and save me. I just got to hope, because at that point, bro, I can't even, like, I can't patch this boat. I can't do this one thing. So unfortunately, they don't train us this. This is not part of our upbringing. You kind of have to learn it on your own. And man, if you're sitting down here hoping that someone's going to give you a job, just because every job you've applied to rejected you, now you're just sitting down, you're hoping that something's going to happen. That means you've reached the point of, you've given up. You've given up, right? But if I have 1% chance that there will be a place that will hire me, all I need is the courage to go and keep doing it, to go and keep looking.
You know what, Bakanga, there's times I've tapped in, and everything you said, I don't disagree with you when you speak on where hope falls in the process of any process, what step it is in. I do believe that hope can be at the beginning of a thing and at the end of a thing. I do believe that. But I think that it's not wrong for a person to have a faith-based system. What I do believe is wrong when a person believes that faith is all it takes. And as a person who I have not renounced Christianity per se, but what I have renounced is some of the ideologies that come from Christianity that were really plugged there to keep you in chains. So I believe I was talking to a guy today. He's Hindu, and we had a business meeting, and I mean, we don't necessarily believe the same, but at the end of it, Raj and I were we hugged and we want to, spend more time together, just exchanging our views on things and how we, perceive in our psychology. Some of our psychology comes from what we believe, and I do not disagree with you on that. But if someone wants to have faith in something greater than themselves while still doing the work, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, Bakanga.
I would not necessarily, I would not say there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There might not be it might not be completely wrong, right? So it's not like 100% wrong. Almost like hope, like I said, hope is not necessarily completely useless, but too much of it becomes a problem. So is faith. Now, the problem with faith is not consistent and it does not produce efficient results. So for a long time as human beings, we didn't have an efficient way to deal with issues in the world because of the lack of the resources, the lack of the time, and the lack of the peace of mind. We were overwhelmed with our day-to-day life to the point where we were just surviving. Most people never really lived. Most people never really lived. Most people were just surviving. Once you're beyond the point of survival, when you actually have some time to breathe and think, you become creative. You start solving problems. Faith is not really efficient when it comes to problem solving. Logic, rational thinking is more efficient, right? So seeing as we live in 2024 and we are now responsible for these massive technologies which can be used as either weapons of growth or weapons of destruction,
Right.
we cannot afford to program our minds or our lives using inefficient, inconsistent forms of thinking. We need to we need to upgrade our thinking. Like, we have to keep up with these things, man.
I 1000% agree with you on that. I 1000% agree with you on that.
What the faith has now done is that the faith has become a hindrance. Like your grandmother's faith in whoever told her that using Cash App, she doesn't understand the efficiency of it. Like you said, that Cash App eliminates the room for scamming. It eliminates you and your family members that you have to use as a middleman having unnecessary conflict. All she has to do is use it. My mom is the same. She doesn't like to use it. I'm telling my mom, I don't want to go to Walmart and do a Walmart to Walmart. Just get Zelle. I'll just send it to you. It's efficient.
Yes. Yes.
It's efficient. And so what faith has become is that faith has become a hindrance. Faith is almost the same, is almost functioning in the same way as those who wanted slavery to continue, having to deal with the fact that the new norm is that the black man is now free. All of a sudden, you have to do more work. No, man, I like the way things were before. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works. The world moves beyond. So if you can have faith in the right amount, dosage, and I'm talking about, you don't need more than 5% faith in any situation in your life. As long as you can have confidence, as long as you have courage, as long as you have rational thinking, and as long as you have a good balance between your sentiments of what you guys like to call love, joy, and happiness, as long as you're a person who doesn't really worry too much, you don't really require too much faith. The work alone is sufficient. So people say faith without works is death. But I say that efficient work eliminates the need for faith. Efficient work eliminates the need for faith. Faith was a supplement for the work done because you reach a point where you cannot work anymore. So you're supposed to be like, okay, man, if I've already put in like 70 hours of work, now it seems like I got no hope to go forward. I'm just going to have faith that the work I've done will produce some more fruits.
I don't, man. See, but so tell me this, because I know you're learning with the scriptures as well. So where it says faith, a mustard seed of faith can move mountains. I've seen, to me, the fallibilities in that state.
That is the correct prescription. That actually is. So if people who had faith could practice that, they'll understand, listen, you don't need, faith is like sugar. When you drink your coffee, you don't need a teaspoon of sugar. You need half of a teaspoon, just so it can take away that taste, right? The coffee taste. You can tell that it's sweet, but it's not sweet. So faith is like salt. You don't want to put the whole goddamn salt in the soup. You just want to have a glimpse of that saltiness. So faith.
But Conga, you almost sound like a preacher boy while you renouncing it. I'm just saying, but keep going.
That's why you guys come up here, right? You catch me on some days. I'm telling you, bro. I'm not a person who left Christianity out of spite. I left Christianity due to a complete understanding of that document. It's just a book, bro. You don't even got that many pages. Some people read entire libraries in their whole lifetimes, bro. I'm telling you, bro, how can you be a Christian for 25 years and you haven't figured out the whole Bible, bro? Just need to invest time. I was that type of Christian, but I lived in that book. So I understand it. So when I began to question it, I was not questioning necessarily what it says. I was questioning its practicality. And that's how you eliminate the facts from the fiction. There are principles within the Bible that are practical to the trained and to the fully developed mind. The Bible is like a gun. You do not give it to an untrained mind. It's like
This is true.
it's like a razor blade. You don't give it to a child. He's gonna cut himself with it. The Bible, okay, this is the number one requirement. You gotta be very, 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 very stable in your English comprehension skills, bro. If you don't got English comprehension skills, don't even touch the damn book. You're gonna start making up your own meaning for words, and before you know, you're gonna be in cuckoo gaga land studying your own church, and the next guy gonna read it with the same mental issues, and he gonna be studying his own church. That's why you see that, because a bunch of untrained individuals are reading the damn book. They cannot separate the fiction. The Bible is a mythological book, just like all other mythologies. Within all other mythologies, you had realistic aspects to their mythologies, and you had exaggerations. You had things that they just blew out of proportion. So unless you're really familiar with their culture, you would think that when the Viking died with their sword, it means that they went to Valhalla. No, it's not that they went to Valhalla. It's that that's a way of dying with honor.
Well, what
Because
you're talking about is you're talking about hermeneutics and apologetics, understanding how to, if you, and that's any book though, understanding where the metaphors are, understanding where the allegories are, understanding where the hyperboles are, where you should read it literally. You have to be able to do that. So that is a fact. I don't disagree with you by any
That's actually an
means.
element of our comic book systems and our entertainment, right? Let me give you an example. Spider-Man cannot be entertaining if it's just completely fiction. The fictional part is graphical to spark the mind, to mind spark and imagine. But there are certain principles within Spider-Man that every little boy, if they're really paying attention, it will motivate them. Peter Parker is this guy that has these awesome powers, but he allows himself to be kicked around. His uncle told him, with great power comes great responsibility. What little boy going through high school, who's a nerd, who's getting bullied, that you know that would not benefit from that little statement, that with great power comes great responsibility?
Right.
So you took this entire fictional thing that you know is fictional, but you can separate the practicality of it from the entertainment. It is true with all things in this world. We Africans, we understood this a long time ago, okay? That's why in Africa, history, we don't tell history to tell you exactly what happened. No, that's not the purpose of history. The purpose of history, of telling history, is to remember the mistakes that were made in the past. So when you as a father, you're telling your son a story about what happened, you are allowed to exaggerate it as much as is necessary to make sure that your son gets that lesson, so he doesn't do it, right? So if you're that type of person who likes to scam people, and you're telling your son about your brother who died when you guys were 15 because he was a scammer, you could make his death worse than it actually was, so that your son can get that lesson, right? You can make it fictitious within his mind, and that would deter him. By the time he realizes his fiction, he would have learned that lesson already.
Have you watched, you watched Remember the Titans, right?
No, sir.
Never watched Remember the Titans? Yo, you there? Well, long story short, at a part in the movie, Denzel Washington is needing the quarterback to go out there and take the place of the quarterback that was just injured. And he tells him, look, when my 8 brothers, and sisters, they needed my help, I blah, 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 I took over, I did what I needed to do. And when the quarterback says, I got it, coach, he runs onto the field motivated. The assistant coach said, I thought you only had, no, he said 12 brothers. And the assistant coach said, I thought you only had 8. And Denzel said, yeah, but it sounded better. So you're right. I mean, it sounds better. It motivates more. Hey, I got one last thing and then I'm off. Malcolm X.
Hold up. Mikes, where did you go? Mike, I didn't even see you. Are you still in here, Mike? Bro, I gotta invite this guy. Before you go.
Okay.
Yo, Mike, I just sent you an invitation, Mikes. I tell you who Mikest is. No, actually, I'll let Mikest tell you guys who he is when he gets a chance to come up. If he gets a chance to come up, where did you go, Mike? Oh man,
All right, well, he'll come. But my thing is for, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, which one would you prefer?
later.
What happened? You here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't prefer any of them.
If you were, I'm saying, let's be neutral in this. I know where you stand, but you wouldn't pick either one of them?
Nope.
I'm just curious to know why. Because in our country, they did do a lot for, they did a lot for colored people.
I'll help you structure your question, right, by giving you room to kind of manipulate your question. You can get the answer that you want from me. Are you saying which one do I prefer if I live back when they lived, or which one do I prefer today?
Based on what you know about them today, which one do you prefer?
No, neither of them. Neither of them. Because I know their strengths and weaknesses. You see, if I was living in a time when I did not know their strengths and weaknesses, then I'll be inclined to pick based on what the perception was. But in hindsight, I have the benefit of hindsight. So what I have to do, the standard I have is a standard that they cannot live up to because they don't even have the opportunity to live up to it.
I'm very interested in why you would say that when even the CIA was following Malcolm X and they said he lived such one of the cleanest lives that they'd ever seen. And they were looking to dismantle, and they were just looking to dismantle the perception of Malcolm X.
That's only from the perspective of someone who has the same standard of judging a clean life and a dirty life from your perspective. Malcolm X was religiously indoctrinated, and he had the religion of a colonizer. Think about it, bro. He jumped ship. He went from one colonial way of thinking to another colonial way of thinking. Now, be it as it may, my enemy's enemy is my friend, right? Type of situation. Malcolm X discovered his African roots, but not to the core of it, to the way that he was able to transform the nations. If he would have maybe embodied Ubuntu rather than the Islamic version, right? Because he pretty much went from trying to be a European to being an Arab in order to fight the Europeans. Meanwhile, Martin Luther King was busily trying to be a European, and he couldn't even live up to the standard. And his own weaknesses were part of what he used to bring him downfall, right? So the freedom that black folks were fighting for and we're still fighting today is an identity crisis, bro. We're not really fighting from chains. Like, chains are easy. We're strong people. We can break any chain that you put around our hands.
Correct.
The chains that we're really fighting is the one in our mind. And the black African American, he has a problem that most human beings on earth don't have. He only has a certain access to his history. I'm telling you, bro, you sit down here and you tell every black African American 5,000 years of their real history, no sugar added, no deletion. It's like you remind a dog that he used to be
on that. I'm on that though, Bakanga. I'm on that. I'm on understanding and searching out who we are.
It's like reminding a dog that he actually is a wolf. And you watch that dude wag his tail at you. Nah, man, ain't no dog in this world gonna wag his tail at you if he remember all his instincts as a wolf. He was completely self-sufficient, well-organized, and had a system of survival that was independent of the influence of any other entity. But he's been tamed. The dog has been tamed. He's been tamed for such a long time. He only knows what has been given to him within the period which he was tamed. At some point during his domestication, life was hard, man. He used to live in the yard. They used to kick him and use him for hunting. Then in 2024, things are getting better. Now he can get in and sleep on the couch. Now he can put his cage indoors.
Yes, okay.
Now, for him to be hunting, he's got to be irresponsible in other things. But guess what? Now he could just sit there and have some white girl or black girl brush his hair all day, take him for a little ass walk, right?
Okay, so Bikanga,
Yeah.
Are you opposed to dating outside of your melanation?
No.
Outside of. Okay. Not opposed to it.
I think that as a man, your number one goal is the continuation of your species, and every female is available to you, no matter what type of man you are. White, black, push. Your job is to anyone that
See, there are
listen.
so many things that we have in common right now because I don't disagree with that either.
No,
But
it's
in
not
the same
logical.
time, it's a little bit contradictory to the plight or to the statement of us really understanding who we are, right? And then I'm gonna say why I say that. Now, Dr. Umar, he talks about when a man, an African man or a black man dates outside of his race. And I'm not opposed to this. I'm not opposed to dating outside of the race. But if you are not opposed to it, then you're really saying that you don't necessarily have to fully subscribe to the empowering of the black community, right? This is what they're
And
saying.
that's the problem that Dr. Umar has, right?
Okay.
Unfortunately, Dr. Umar is thinking like someone who lives in the 1980s. We live in 2024, okay? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you the system that we black folks have that allow us to mix with any race. Polygamy. If you look at the real African structure of polygamy, I can have an Asian wife, a white wife, a black wife, and my gene would
Takes on
survive.
what your belief is, correct?
It's not a belief. I'll tell you how it's a defense mechanism. It's a very well structured defense mechanism. My white wife will provide me sons that will allow me to have a direct means and direct entry if I have
Yeah,
any type of
yeah.
acquisition coming from the white race, right? My Chinese roots will allow me. My black roots will preserve the genes of my ancestry, but I'll surround myself with my own flesh and blood within every other species of human beings, such that before any conflict comes to overcome me, it will have to go through the defense mechanism that I've set around myself. You know what I'm saying? That's why I am a man that carries seed. That's why naturally those women can carry my seed, bro. Listen, if white women were not supposed to be with black people, they will not be able to carry your seed. So some ideology is jacking you up in the head if you think that it's against nature to do it. Now, is it against nature to exclusively only want to be with that to the point where you drive your own self into extinction? Of course, that's irrational. But like I said, it's okay for me as an African man to have multiple mothers to my children. And in 2024, who wouldn't want to diversify?
What you Bakanga, man. Listen, bro, it's all love, man. I got to get out. My last statement is Bakanga's message of growth mentally, intellectually is powerful. But I have to stand my ground and say it's okay for those who believe in God to believe in God. It's okay. That's my take. It's okay.
Hostility here and this
It's
specific
okay.
point. You're allowed to say that. And anyone who's listening to you is allowed to take your message. Because I'm not having a physical battle. I'm having an ideological battle.
My brother, be blessed, man. We'll talk again.
Thank you, Turnip. And next time, bring the fire, man. I don't like quiet Turnip.
Hey,
I like talking
I'll
over
come
me.
with that. You know what? See, I was trying to be
I think you
peaceful.
turn up
I
my
was
voice is
trying to
kinda
be
like,
peaceful. I was trying to be peaceful because, to be honest, I feel like you already own at least 3 brownies and 1 real strong blunt. If I was to be
hell
honest,
no.
but
Hell
I'm
no.
messing.
Hell no, bro. Unfortunately, I get drug tested every week, bro. I
Okay.
can't do that. In my
Hey,
line
you
of
talk
work,
about me, but right now you are a very cool, calm, and collective Bakanga. So I was just matching your
right
energy,
now as we
brother.
speak, bro, I'm down on the weather. I've been sick for the last 3 days with a cough, if you want to call it a sickness, but it's not really a sickness because it's just a cough. You can tell in my voice.
Man, it's so many other things I would bring up, but I'm gonna get off. I got things to do, man. But if you're still on in a little bit, I'll come back through, and I got some other things.
Probably won't be, but I appreciate you. Just come back another day, my brother.
All right, my brother. Take care.
But Mikest, I saw you, but you were soon gone. I see you again. Hold on. Oh, that was me. All right, so let's go with Angelo. You've been here longer. Stop believing in God and don't worry about what comes after death. What's up, man? Angelo. Angelo Ramos.
You.
Bro, I was about to take you down. What's up?
What's up, bro?
What you got for me, man?
No, I'm just listening in, man. I like your conversations, man. I kind of like believe what you're saying. You know, I was raised in the Catholic Church, but I always seemed like there was something wrong. You know, like it just wasn't right. And I just like I don't really know what to believe, so I don't really dwell on anything. I'm just living.
Oh, you don't need to believe anything. That's good.
That's how I am. I don't believe in that. I'm just living as the days come.
Live based on what you know. You should strive to gain knowledge, and knowledge is usually complemented by experience and practicality.
Can you
You would find that life is more productive that way.
exactly? I was raised by an old gray hair man, my grandfather, and he was actually not my biological grandfather, but you know I consider him a great man because he helped raise other kids that weren't even his. You know, he
You
was
know what, bro? Actually, you know what, bro? Let me put it in this way, okay? I've been thinking of a better way, better words, a more direct way to verbalize what you should do with your beliefs.
as in how.
Belief. It's not bad if you have beliefs, as long as you don't identify with them. So your belief system should not be part of your identity, and it should be 100% confidential. So your belief system should be like your secrets that you don't talk to people about, and it doesn't affect who you are. What should affect who you are is what you know you can do and
Yes,
what you know you cannot do. So your knowledge and experience should affect your identity, right? Beliefs should be a secret. So things that you are born with, that you catch when you are alive, and that no one ever finds out until you die. People should only ever speculate what they think you believe. But if people are going to say anything about you, let them say what they know that you knew, because you lived based on what you knew. So anyone who is able to separate their beliefs from their identity can believe anything. But if you cannot separate your belief from your identity, belief is useless to you. In fact, it becomes harmful.
I hear you. I
Because
actually
the
honestly,
human mind, the human brain, unfortunately, cannot help but form opinions. Let me give
I
you an example. Right? Your belief is an opinion, and there was just a crime. You
I
think in your head somebody, you have somebody that you suspect, but you never said anything out loud. When the facts comes out, it turns out the person that you thought was not the one who committed the crime. Now nobody has to be like, "Hey, Santos, Ramos, you're a bad person. You were falsely accusing that guy." No, because nobody ever knew who Santos believed committed the crime. Santos just had a thought in his head. He was like, "Oh, it seems to me like it was that guy who did it." But Santos never said anything to anyone. He kept it confidential. That's what belief be like. Now, let's say Santos was there on the crime scene and he saw what happened. Santos will immediately, Ramos will immediately say, "Yeah, I know that it was Bakanga who did it. And here's my proof."
if I tell you something, if I tell you I don't have any beliefs, all I have is feelings. What would you say about that? Because I have feelings and certain things
So,
happen
so,
in my
so
life.
what I would say about that is that you do have opinions about things, which are beliefs, but those beliefs are not part of your identity. You don't identify with them. Your mind is still able to process those beliefs, but you can separate it from your identity. That is why you don't identify with them. You don't say it's my beliefs, because yes, they are beliefs in my head, but they're not my beliefs. They're just beliefs. They're not mine, though.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to consider beliefs. Like I think of things that I want to do, and I believe that I know I can do it. That's the only beliefs I have, and things that I can do, things that I
Bro,
can't
I am
control.
not going to war if I don't know that I can win that war, bro. I'm not going to war because I believe I can win that war, bro.
I hear you.
I am going to seek peace or I'm going to run away before I go to some war because I believe I can. Bro, the moment I'm believing that I can win, that means that there's a chance I can lose. Now, if I'm not 100% sure I can win, what's the point of going to go die, bro, finding out? That's not logical. That's not rational, right? I'm not going to invest my money in the business because I believe I'm going to get rich. No, I better know that I'm going to get rich, right? It's risk taking. It's risk.
Hey, are you here? Are you from the United States or you're in another country? I'm in the United States in New Jersey.
I live in California.
From California. I listen to you guys a lot. You know, I never really like got in with the conversation and everything. I'm like a loner. I only talk to my wife and my kids. And
You're
you
not a
know.
loner. If you only talk to your wife and kid, that's more than a loner, bro. You're
Oh
not a
yeah.
loner.
Well, that's my life right there. You know,
You have a small circle, and that's fine.
very small circle. But I feel like my ancestors like around me and feel like people touching my shoulders, but I don't know if it was just me, my muscles twitching or something, but it felt like somebody putting their hand on my shoulder. I don't know what the hell that is. You know, so I don't
It's
believe
your
in it.
mind. It's your mind. It's your mind. It's as long as you don't let yourself be deluded about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real experience that you're having, but it's those type of experiences that's like dreams, right? You can't just think you had a dream. You can tell me the dream that you had, but I don't believe it because I don't know if you're lying. But you know what you experienced. So it's that type of thing that, yeah, like you don't have to really tell people. If it happens to you, you just understand, okay, it happens to me. This is not the type of thing that people will believe or even anyone can know, right? But if it helps you positively, then you move on with life.
Can you see me?
No, I can't see you right now. You don't got your stuff on. But anyways, bro, let me go to Dubai real quick, bro, because I don't have too much time. Come back
Okay.
another day, okay? I
Yeah,
must, please come back
drink some
another day.
drink some ginger tea for that cough with lemon and honey.
Say that again.
Drink some ginger with tea and lemon and honey for that
Oh
cough.
yeah, I've been doing that actually. I did some ginger and onions.
Yeah.
I put it in my tea.
Yeah, take care of yourself, man. You blessed.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
My brother,
What you got for me, Dubai?
my brother.
What's up, my brother?
These
What you
people are
cook?
not ready for the things that are conversating here. They are so ready to accept the white man programming is just it's flabbergascomas. Eh? The bastardagasos. I have to say. Okay, let me bring it back down to
Now
exactly
come back
what.
to English. Come back to English.
Let me bring it back down to English. Let's just take it back down. Let's break it to exact. Why would any black person on this planet that came from Africa, the diaspora of which we are, to think that the thing that they said to us as a religion was for our benefit? It's like saying COVID vaccine is good. Sorry, I cannot say. The Bobby Begebe is the thing, yeah? But then now you sit down and you notice that they had opportunity for us. That's what the opportunity they had. So, if I have opportunity, why would I lie to you? I want to lie to you. Because I want what you have. The beard diamond, they came and they saw all the little children. All of them playing with diamond. It was like little balls. Oh, they played fu. What is this? The David Attenborough kind of guy. Oh, where are these diamonds that you found?
You know what I would say, bro? Unfortunately, I don't have too much time, but I'm gonna comment on what you said, bro, because you see, bro, the problem is not so much that
They want to put a God inside of us because they want to take advantage because we were already kings. We have been kings and queens since the start. Now they take away from us and then we don't know what we can. We don't know what we are.
let me actually bring your attention to a specific
Sorry,
reality.
boss. Sorry.
There is so much good news for every black person in the world. And unfortunately, no one ever tells us this. Okay? I'm going to start telling people this.
Bro?
We were colonized, but we were not fully colonized.
Yes.
So the colonization of
We're
Africa was never
dangerous.
complete.
We're dangerous.
Listen,
As soon as a black man knows his power, that's it. There's something that will happen. It's not Puerto Rican, it's not Chinese, it's not Asian. As soon as the black man knows, that's the end of it. All those jokes, Jesus, God, finish. Go. Oh, please. I beg, oh. Please jump inside a river and drown me. Because all the books that I read when I was a child, I lived both in Canada, Australia, Africa, everywhere. And I can tell you verbatim, do you want me to switch my accent in so many different ways so I can tell you how the diaspora live?
Okay. Like I said, bro, I don't have too much time, right? I wasn't really going to
Sorry, I apologize.
but you make good points. You make good points, bro. You know, I appreciate you, okay, my good brother.
Sorry.
Come back on another day when we can run the marathon. And I'm pretty sure we have
You know what? Big up. Please, big up. Allura.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I brought him up because he's a subscriber. Obviously, if someone's a subscriber, I'll bring them up. $6, man. A subscriber pays $6. So you gotta give him that respect. What I was saying though, the black man was not fully colonized. Like, out of all the countries in this world that were colonized, we're the only ones that were never fully colonized. Let me tell you what colonization looks like when it's complete. When colonization is complete, the people who live in the land that was colonized look more like the colonizer than the colonized. So if you want to know any place in this world that was colonized, just look at who lives there. If the people who live in that land look more like the colonizer, then that land was fully colonized, so colonization was complete. But if the people who live in that land, the majority are still looking like the people who were colonized, that means that something interrupted the process of colonization. Hence, look at America. America was colonized, right? North America, Canada, mainland United States, Mexico. South America, not so much. But Africa's colonization was only about 30%. So they did not really take the land, but they were able to influence the mind. So they initiated the process. So there was something about African society and community that prevented the process of colonization from going. And if we as African people can identify that thing, then we can be completely free from colonization without even having to demonize white people, without having to hate them or be no, we don't even have to. We don't have to generate negative hatred towards other races. When we understand how come we are still the proprietor of our land, still, I insist still, because there are some things that we need to do in order to remain so. But what was it about the black man that made it difficult for colonization to take place? Tradition. Hey, listen, the word is tradition. Tradition is the reason why Africa wasn't colonized. You couldn't take the African man's land. And disunity. Tradition and disunity. Not unity, disunity. Disunity in the form of tribalism. In order for you to have conquered Africa, you would have had to learn every tribal language on the continent in order to drive those people out of their land. You would have had to know all the traditions of those people. And polygamy would have had to not exist there. So you could not kill more than they could multiply. You could not really communicate in a way that you could completely scam. So all these things that we're complaining about colonization, it's only 30%. It could have been worse. Nigeria could have been like England right now. Nigeria was colonized by the British, right? And 237 million Nigerians, right? If Nigeria was fully colonized, majority of Nigeria would be white folks. What happened in South Africa? They took the land. They took some of the land. just a little bit. But what happened? The tribalism still prevented them from taking more. So we have more to be grateful for. That there was something about how our past that actually served us positively. We still have enough of what belongs to us. That's why it's not so much important what happened in the past anymore. What's most important is what we do now. I repeat, as African people, it's not so much important what happened in the past. What's most important is now what we do now. That's nothing to do with me, y'all. Chill out. I'm just down on the weather. You guys know that there was a bad weather that just came to California. Mr. Yamel. Yamel. All right, Yamel. Next guest.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go straight to your point.
Yeah, I feel like that statement that you have is dangerous, man. Stop believing in God. Don't worry about what comes after death. Only because you can believe, or matter of fact, you can disbelieve in their afterlife, or you can disbelieve in there being a God. But that is dangerous, man. Especially when it comes to, like, if not necessarily more positive leaning atheists, but negative leaning atheists who may not necessarily have concern for the value of human life. Like, I mean, you're
I'm pretty
smart.
sure human life retains its value. Human life does not lose an inch of value if you start believing in God.
You said human life does not lose a value?
It loses no value if you start believing in God.
No. I agree, but I'm saying that the philosophy of being an atheist, especially like not believing
You're not
in
an
it.
atheist just because you don't believe in God. Because if that's the case, every baby in the world is an atheist. If that's the case, then the natural way of man is to be an atheist. If you think that not believing in God makes you an atheist, then every baby in the world is an atheist, and believing in God is an unnatural behavior because we're not born that. Nobody's
Okay, well,
born with a belief in God. You have to be indoctrinated. That's why you're indoctrinated with whatever God governs over the area or culture that you belong to, right? But every baby in the world has one thing in common. They don't believe in any God. Every baby in the world. You know, so when you start believing in God, you don't lose anything. What you do, you actually gain a lot because you don't lose any morals. You don't lose any of those things. If first of all, if you're a moral person because you believe in a God, you're not really moral. You're just a pretender. Because all these things that you guys think is good out of religion are things that we should do anyways, just because we want to survive. So we don't need God to be the reason why we love each other. No, we should love each other because our chances of survival is better when we love each other. We fight less war. We solve more problems. It's just logical to get along, right? So you don't have to believe in God in order not to attack your neighbor. You don't want his son to come for vengeance and hurt your sons when you're gone. There's many rational, logical reasons just from our ability to think that allow us to still maintain our sense of right and wrong based on our experiences, even without a God.
no, I agree with you that there's
What
plenty.
God then does is that now makes you narrow-minded, right? You have believed in the God called the Christian God. And no matter how good a Muslim is, you still see him as some type of weirdo because he says he believes in a different God. That's what the belief in God does. It makes you forget that you're both humans. The belief in God literally makes people forget that they're both human.
No, that you're conflating
You categorize each other based on those beliefs.
No, you're conflating belief in a religion to belief in God. Well, you can believe in God and
Sir,
believe
go and
that.
look up the definition of religion. With all due respect, my brother, the definition of religion is literally in the definition. The belief in a supernatural being as the creator of the universe and the source of all moral authority. That is the definition of religion. You cannot have a religion without deities.
Okay, but it's not
It's impossible.
confined to any specific religion. It's not. Excuse me. It's not confined to any specific like system of belief in a particular
Believing in
God.
God is a religious phenomenon. So you cannot separate God from religion, bro. It's like you trying to
No, I'm
separate.
not. I'm not trying to separate God from religion. I'm trying to separate any particular belief in a specific like way of believing in God from belief in God in general. Like you can believe in God and not believe in Christianity. You can believe in God and not believe in Islam. You can believe in
That's
God
what
and
I'm
not believe in
saying. It
any other
doesn't matter which
particular
God you
mainstream
believe in.
religion.
No, you're correct, bro. You're correct.
No, it's not. That's not my
Right?
point. That's not
Just
my
like
point at
there's
all.
multiple ways of contracting HIV/AIDS, but once you contract it, it affects you in the same way. So it doesn't matter how you contract the belief in God. When it gets into your brain, the same chemical processes take place. Narrow-mindedness, you know, you become intolerant of other people who don't have the same thing you have in your head. It's like the guy who has cancer saying to the guy that has epilepsy, "You're going to hell for having epilepsy."
You
Bro,
no, the same thing you are the same thing that you're accusing like specific religious believers of. You're doing the same thing to me right now. Like I'm not even Christian, but you can
what am I
believe.
doing to you?
You're saying that when you believe in God, it narrows your mind. I mean, you can believe in God and it
Am I
broaden your
saying that,
mind.
or is it, so check this out, check this out.
Mhm.
What I'm saying, is it practically observable?
Is what practically observable?
Can you observe the narrow-mindedness of people who believe in God? That's something that you can visualize.
Yes, but
You
the
can
same
see
is true
it.
for atheists.
Think about it. Think about it.
Can you
Okay,
wait, hold
I
on,
said to you,
pause. Will
bro,
you agree that
you
the same
remember,
can be true for atheists? Yes or no?
you remember, hold up, brother, because you need to understand. You remember I told you that just because you don't believe in God doesn't make you an atheist, right?
I thought the definition for atheism is lack of belief in God.
Right.
Okay. So if you don't
Does that
believe in
make
God,
every
then you're an
baby,
atheist.
hold up. Does that make every baby an atheist?
I mean, technically, but babies don't necessarily have the
Hold up.
That's like saying every rock is an atheist. They don't have the
Bro, just
comprehensive
relax.
power to understand.
Flow with me, good brother. Flow with
hmm
me. Does that make every baby an atheist?
Yeah, but you could also say that makes every rock an atheist. Like, what's your point?
No. Rocks are not living things. I'm talking about humans, babies. Human beings come in different stages, right? There's a stage of a human process before a human being begins to form their head. So,
hmm
if the lack of belief is what makes a person an atheist, doesn't that make every baby who lacks belief an atheist?
Yeah, but what's the point of even mentioning that?
I will
What does
tell
that
you.
matter?
Just relax. I'm about to show you,
Mm.
bro. It's either true or false. What I just said. Is every baby an atheist?
We can say, yeah, sure.
Okay, good. That means that your religion is teaching y'all that babies is gonna go to hell.
You're doing it again. I'm not.
No. Check this out. Check this out. Check
Yeah.
this out. Check this out. Check this out.
Uh-huh.
Your religion is teaching you that babies are
Hold
going to hell.
on. No. Slow down. I'm not Christian. Don't say your religion. Specify
I'm
which religion you're
speaking in
talking about.
general. When I say you, I'm
No,
talking about.
you're not general. That's not fair. Like not everybody believes in mainstream Western Christianity or any mainstream Western Abrahamic religion.
Check this out, bro.
So
I wish I had
specify.
that time. I wish I had time, bro. But unfortunately, I got to go right now as we speak.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying the same narrow-mindedness can be applied to atheism, just like any other religion. But I'll get back on. I'll follow you.
I wish I
talk
had time to teach you something. Babies are not atheists. Even though they lack belief, there's another type of lack of belief in God, which is not atheism. It's called realism. You can lack belief in God because there's no evidence. That doesn't make you an atheist. So it's not necessarily completely like a lack of belief. It's not that you want to believe or you don't want to believe. You just don't participate in the atheism ball game, right? So you're just a realist. Like if there's God, there's God. If there's no God, there's no God. You don't have to lie about it. You don't need to form shit in your head. You just, if there is, there is. If there's not, there's not, right? So like,
but that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's what causes so much like mass suffering and death in the world is actually realism.
People have died because of religious people, bro.
Oh no, sir. No, sir.
Let's not talk about that.
Next time I talk to you, I'll bring up something called political realism, and we'll show you.
If I actually got a chance, it might come up in the next 2 hours, but right now I gotta go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys.